When the sky was bright, Yanka woke up, and after the washing, he took the broom on the corner of the wall and walked out of the hut. Standing at the door and stretching, I glanced at the white fish that appeared on the horizon. I closed my eyes and enjoyed the peace of mind. Then I opened my eyes and danced the broom in my hands, screwing my head and cleaning the dust and leaves on the ground. Once in Xingyi, it is simple and clean, and the old-fashioned clothes are plain and white. Young Cao is as a strike as a javelin. Even if he is doing the lowest level of work, the fish salutes matters. The movement was very calm, and the hands holding the broom did not use much strength. The body didn't even swing much. Despite the rotation of the wheels, the broom was like an arm, and it came to the ground as his face moved. At the ground, the dust and the breeze accumulated on the building magically followed as if the two legs were flat. Yanka is a trial disciple of Ling Shaoge. After 3 years of advancement, young man began to cultivate, but until now he has only cultivated to the 3-level realm of cleansing. The brothers and sisters who started with him have long since surpassed the stage, and it has the opportunity to go to the top of the high-level seats to fly to the top, but he can only hope to soar. Three years of cleansing 3 layers. These qualifications are not described as ordinary words. It can be said to be mediocre. Nothing to do, young Kai can only pick up a sweeping life in the young man, while practicing his livelihood and practicing hard. Ling Shaoge is a relatively special martial art. The special manifestation is in the cruelty of the competition of the disciple under the door. In this martial art, there is the ability to be superiors and the incompetence to eliminate. The iron law of the weak meat is interpreted in the Ling Shao pavilions. Other young men may have some friendship with the same door, but there is no in the Ling Shao pavilions. I want to climb up. Only one the soldiers of the so-called brothers and brothers stepping on their blood, so qualified. Ling Shaoge has a strict system and is famous in the entire Han Dynasty. Although it is not a super big school, the cruelty of the disciple under the door is second to none. For this reason, the disciples were all arrogant and few people dared to provoke when they went out to walk the rivers and lakes. Ling Shaoge has a rule. Disciple under the age of 14, no matter who, from the beginning, 3 years is considered a trial period. In the past 3 years, young man was responsible for eating and drinking, and the disciple could only practice. If you can break through the cleansing period in 3 years, you will be qualified to go to the masters of the young masters. Let this master teach cultivations. Of course, you can also not practice by yourself, but when you practice, there are teachers who teach and explore for yourself. It is totally different. To some extent, Ling Shaoge rules are somewhat free. Those who did not break through the cleansing period in 3 years either left young men or were tried as trial disciple. Trying out the disciple is the identity of young Kai. It is also the same in the Ling Shao pavilions. Unlike ordinary disciple, the living environment of the trial disciple is more demanding because you have to go to this step. You must take care of yourself, and the young man will not waste any cultivation resources on you. Once it is turned into a trial disciple, basically there will be no future in this life. Unless the strength rises rapidly in a short period of time, the other side think that you have the capital to invest. There are 3,000 disciples throughout the Ling Shaokei, and how many people are there to try their disciple? But the number of 10 fingers, Yang Kai is fortunate to be one of them. It is hard to try to live in the Ling Shao pavilions. It is like a lodge where Yang Kai lives now. It is built of wood and wood by himself. There are no holes in the small roof. Time to take care of it. It will be difficult to drain water when it rains. His clothes are bought by himself. The things he eats are made by himself, and everything is responsible for himself. Even the location of the lodge is also the most remote and uninvited place in the Ling Shao pavilions. Such a bad treatment is generally difficult for people to endure. This is also because of the small number of disciples in the Ling Shao trial. Basically, the disciples who have not broken through the quenching realm during the trial period will choose to leave the Ling Shao route, but Yang Kai stay. I have been swept away once. How can this be done this time? After being promoted as a trial disciple a few months ago, Yang Kai took a sweeping life in Yongmen to maintain his own livelihood. It can be said that Yang Kai is now a trial disciple of Ling Shaokei and also a sweeping squad of Ling Shaokei. But this sweeping of the land sometimes cannot maintain the food and clothing of Yang Kai. From time to time, too hungry for a meal, the one has to win the days of hardship. Even so, Yang Kai has no play, a retreat life is alive, the kids are poor. He chose the road. It's necessary to go on. Halfway cannot be done by man. Yang Kai has resilience. Does not eat the salt wall, does not look back to the resilience. The sky gradually lit up and Yang opened the ground for a while. Everything was clean and the dust was cleaned up. Although sweeping the ground does not waste any effort, it can be so long after eating and drinking in the early morning. Yang Kai is also sweating. It has nothing to do with strength, completely because the constitution is too bad. There are 2 meals in the 3 meals. No one is in the living environment of Yang Kai, and the constitution will not be good. Some of the disciples of Ling Shaokei gradually surrounded each other. His disciples all got up early. They didn't practice, but they were surrounded by Yang Kai. Many people looked at Yang Kai with great interest. Some people's eyes were even greedy. It is as if Yang Kai is now a naked beauty, a fragrant incense. And among the disciples of Ling Shaokei who gathered around Yang Kai, there was also a dense competitive atmosphere spreading, and they looked at the teachers and brothers around them with vigilance, and each one looked bad. Some people in the crowd couldn't stand it, whispered, "So many people, some are too much." Someone replied at the moment, "You think that many people can go, no one wants you to stay." In one instance, the person is not swearing. Everyone knows why they are gathered here. They all know why they should stay at Yang Kai. Now it is waiting for the moment. The time limit is coming soon. Isn't it pity to leave now? If you can grab the top spot, today is not a harvest. Yang Kai of the week is naturally aware of it, that his look has never changed. Such a squad is going to go through it once every 5 days, 6 times a month. There is really nothing to confuse about, and the number of people in this case is slightly less. It should be that it is not yet full. Therefore, he has been sweeping the floor regardless of the people around him all the way to sweep. As time went by, more and more people gathered around Yang Kai. roughly estimated to have at least 3 or 40 people. Yang Kai suddenly stopped, so he sat in the middle of the road, slowly took a breath and resumed his physical strength consumed early in the morning. At the sight of this movement, all the people gathered around Yang Kai immediately dispersed, and the group surrounded him in the middle. The atmosphere of intense competition suddenly rose to a new realm, as if the air was no longer flowing. Anyone who sees you is not pleasing to the eye, but is looking forward to seeing Yang Kai. If a person who does not know the truth sees this scene, I'm afraid that he will be surrounded by a crowd of masters. Or how can he dispatch so many people to do with him? In fact, Yang Kai is a trial disciple of 3 layers of cleansing. Anyone present is better than Yang. Yang Kai, you don't bother wait for me to wait for you and save time? Someone saw Yang Kai like this and suddenly disdained. What is the recovery of the 3-layer cleansing area? Anyway, it's all about losing. It's better to be a little bit more. Why is it so lingering? Yeah. Yang Kai, you are also very considerate of the mood of the teachers and brothers. Everyone is different from you. We still have to practice after this game. In this case, it seems that Yang Kai should be defeated by them quickly. Yang Kai recovery of physical strength is also like disrespect to them. If Yang opened the door, it would be like an old man. Time continued to pass, and suddenly the melodious bell rang. It was the morning bell of the Ling The bells were introduced into the ears of everyone, and the disciples gathered around Yang Kai were shocked. The bell rang 9 times, and the rising sign of the east is a new day. The breathing of everyone suddenly subsided, and the eyes of the Yang Kai, who was surrounded by the middle, slowly opened up. Carrying the broom on his hand and glanced at the circle of people around him. "Just me, Yang Ziqiang," someone shouted. "I'm very large and you are guaranteed not to hurt." "Fart, just me, I will give you a good time." And with the punch, never waste everyone's time. Just me. The scene is noisy, just like the marketers in the market are selling vegetables in their fields, but also who is more fresh. "Young guy, you cannot break the rules you set," someone reminded me. Yang Kai chuckled, and the broom that he would hold was thrown into the sky, and dozens of pairs of eyes looked up, looking forward to waiting for the broom to land. I pray in my heart, "Choose me, choose me." Time seems to slow down. The broom hit a few turns in mid-air and immediately fell, playing on the ground at feet. At the front of the broom pointed to a bully teenager in the crowd. A sigh of relief sound, full of resentment and unwillingness. On the contrary, the bully boy smiled out of the crowd and punched the crowd and smiled. The brothers and sisters, today were brother one, and I hope that the teachers and brothers are not strange. Crash, that smells. Someone is embarrassed. How can I not choose me? I have come once every 5 days. It has been a month, and Yang Kai deliberately. Don't mention it. I have been here for 3 months, and I have not been selected once. Brothers, you are worse than me. It's not triple, it's a good to watch the show. The 2 brothers looked at each other and smiled. In the field, other people have already dispersed, leaving only Yang Kai and the burly teenagers to look at each other. Try the disciple Yang Kai, 3 layers of cleansing. Yang looked at the other side. Ordinary disciple Yo Ting Jun, cleansing 5 layers. Burly young self reported home. Ling Shaoqi's disciples are also hierarchically graded. From the bottom up, they are trials of disciples, ordinary disciples, disciples, elite disciples, and core disciples. Yoding Chun said that he is an ordinary disciple, that is, he has not yet entered the young song masters, and he has not been even a good teacher. If it is a breakthrough in the cleansing period, it would be a higher level disciple. The other disciples who are one level higher are all standing, and they are selected from the disciples. The core disciple is the hope of the next generation of Ling Shaoqi. He has cultivated these people as future successors. The underground discipleship system seems to be inhuman, but it can stimulate young people's blood and competition consciousness. This is also the foundation of Ling Shaoqi's crew system. The fundamental reason for young cats to be robbed by countless people is another rule of Ling Shaoqi, the rule of Jielings.